One of Mrs. Duncanson's problems is her daughter Regina functions like a 2-year-old, meaning that her disability is set preventing maturity past the age of 2. This means that just about everything Regina has done has proven that she has zero perception with stuff and never cares about how people are affected. Regina really wants friends to be with her, but all she does is make them do gross stuff to get any favors at all. Those people who are smart enough refuse it, but Regina refuses to see that what she's doing is sick, and refusing back is just making those smart people look like fools. One of them ended up on a restraining order from the home for hitting Regina over the head with a piece of bark. One of them ended up on a restraining order for giving Regina bigotry letter over her serious low functioning. Regina's situation is too serious to be repaired through neurophysiology because the wires in her brain are all frayed up, preventing maturity past the age of 2. Her whole brain must be replaced with an artificial one that works like normal. Being too poor is not an acceptable excuse for getting out of none of this, because unless Regina's brain gets replaced, she'll never have any place in the world and never meet the requirements for either roommates or living on her own. They're currently visiting with Dr. Delia Whitehat to discuss the situation. Thank you for coming to see us, Mr. and Mrs. Duncanson, because I heard that your daughter Regina is one of those kinds of people who never matures past the age of 2. You're certainly right about that, Dr. Whitehat. I find it hard to believe that her brain has many broken wires in it to where the whole thing needs replacement in order for proper functioning. Up to now, Regina Duncanson's medicine is working its way into part of her so that all of her organs will be able to function on the artificial running during her brain replacement surgery. The medicine is already halfway there, and it's still got a ways to go before we're ready for the operation. She seems to be gaining enough of the medical functioning at a faster rate than the average person, and that'll be great when she's good to go. You've come to the right place after you heard about how we fix some disability situations. Did you know that it would take more than all of the tolerance and patience in the whole wide world provides to be able to put up with somebody who functions like at a 2-year-old's level all their life? I think you're right, Dr. Whitehead. Of all the years we've raised Regina, we've tried everything, and no matter what we try to do, we can never manage Regina's disability. She seems to be beyond tolerances and patience's management. Regina is at this point in the surgery room on the operation table undergoing her brain replacement operation. As well as she's under anesthesia, the rest of her body is wired to the electrical nerve runner to help keep her organs going while her brain is being replaced. It wasn't until recently people have been able to do brain replacement surgery, and because of high expenses to brain replacement based on the chemicals required to grow artificial brains, only those already born with brain syndrome can be eligible for brain replacement. Not drug abusers, alcoholics, or careless people. We're hoping it's a success and that Regina's ability to grow up normal will work out. What are some things that have happened when it comes to your daughter, Regina? Regina often has to hard think everything, which gets us too far behind in things. Her caretakers at ACE are very frustrated with the way she manages highlighting, and they end up having to do it for her. They often try to teach her, but it's really no use. Her situation is just too unmanageable for them. Regina is now undergoing mental therapy so that she'll have the time to get used to her newly properly functioning brain. Living with a new brain that works to where you've been able to do better than a 2-year-old takes a lot of getting used to. And so there's hope in the future that it'll work out in a pleasant way. When Regina's mental therapy's finished, her criminal record she got from being up a student at school will be dismissed, and she'll be able to do stuff just like normal, just like most other people. School only teaches students what's learnable, not what's genetic, required, or optional. If somebody doesn't have what they need to be able to learn, they can't be taught at any level. That's where the neurophysicist needs to step in to examine and make repairs as needed so that each student will succeed and make it to working a community helper's job. Take a look at these two diagrams. Do you see what I mean? Yes, indeed. Regina's mental therapy is all done now, and she's living a normal life, and will never live in a 2-year-old's functioning again for as long as she lives. It's a good thing, too, because the world's patience and tolerance can't manage anybody stuck in the intelligence of being a 2-year-old no matter what. By leaving somebody that way, you're just being a part of our financial crisis and threatening our economy. You're also being the roots to at least 95% of the bigotry going on in the world. Now I'm going to turn my time over to my next client.